On the entrance to one of my favorite trails ever to ride, there is this step up that I have never been able to clear. Every time I try to ride it, I've always just given up and said, meh, next time. To be frank, I've had that mindset for a long while now, ever since early last year when I had one of the worst crashes I've ever had on a bicycle. I went OTB and broke my nose, and admittedly ever since then I've been holding myself back by either not sessioning and tackling harder, more dangerous features, or just by avoiding them altogether and riding easier trails. But that mindset must be no more. I must banish it. I've got a trip to Sedona planned for the mountain bike festival next year, and I plan on being ready to go there and tackle any and all of the trails, regardless of difficulty level. Well, maybe not this, but yeah, you get the picture. So I set out to tackle this step up, and needless to say, it didn't go that well. I kept getting sketched out and literally not even bunny hopping my front wheel off the ground because I didn't want to get a pedal strike and or just lose balance on the ledge for some reason and fall off to the right into this ravine. So I kept trying and trying and trying, and eventually I was able to clear the step up, but only by taking a slightly less difficult line. I decided that that wasn't enough for me. I wanted to be able to clear the entire thing on the hardest line like a freaking boss. So I decided to go back to basics, the parking lot session. My goal for that session was to learn how to pick my rear wheel up off the ground and then do a full bunny hop with my entire bike coming off the ground so I could clear those kinds of step-ups easier. I knew that if I could master this technique, then it would definitely become, well, small potatoes. So I kept practicing and practicing and practicing, and I kinda learned how to get my wheel off the ground by like an inch. Not really the kind of progress that I was hoping to make that day. I did, however, figure out how to do some kind of rudimentary track stand endo turn thing. That'll come in handy on the trails at least. Eventually, the very last of my luck ran out.
Alright, so I kind of got the hang of it.
While I was out practicing, I ended up getting pedal strikes on not one, but both of my shins. I'll be honest, that hurt, but not quite as much as it did by not accomplishing my goals. But I do suppose, in hindsight, it was a bit naive of me to think that I could just waltz into a parking lot, spend an hour or two there, and completely master every single aspect of mountain biking. I almost didn't want to make a video about this either, since as far as progression goes, this was a complete failure, and it's a little embarrassing, but it is still a part of my mountain biking journey nonetheless, and I bet that someday I'll come back to look on this and have a good laugh about how inexperienced I used to be. But for this, at least, I am by no means discouraged. I'm going to keep practicing my rear wheel lifts and my bunny hops. It's going to take a little bit more time than I thought, but I'm confident that I'll be clearing this section and others like it in no time at all, and even harder sections. Thanks for watching, everyone. This is the MTB Duck signing off for today.